Rain slammed against the streets of Havenridge, turning every alley into a river of shadows. Selena Moreno ran blindly, her thin dress soaked and sticking to her skin, her slippers sliding on the wet pavement. Her baby was clutched tightly to her chest, small and fragile against the chaos raging around her. Thunder cracked overhead, lightning flashing, but it was nothing compared to the terror pounding in her chest. "Get out! I told you to get out!" Malik's voice boomed from behind her. Anger drove him forward, relentless, and Selena stumbled, nearly falling into a puddle. She clutched the baby tighter, whispering, "Please, stop! Just let us go." She spotted a narrow alley with a rusted market stall and dove beneath its canopy, sliding down the slick wall. Her hair plastered to her face, her breathing ragged. She just needed a moment to breathe. Across the street, a silver Lynx RX skidded past. The driver's eyes caught the sight of her struggling figure, drenched and desperate, holding her baby like a shield against the storm. A tall man in a long, tailored coat, Dante Vale, stopped his car a few blocks ahead, then circled back. He saw her crouched under the stall, ate the helplessness and courage etched on her face, and he didn't hesitate. "Are you okay?" His voice cut over the rain, calm but urgent. Selena froze, startled, her baby whimpering. I don't know. Her words broke against sobs. Dante stepped closer, hands empty, gentle. "You're soaked, and those slippers won't help. Let me get you somewhere dry." Trust didn't come easy. She hesitated, but the steadiness in his eyes and the calm in his voice made her falter. After a long pause, she nodded, letting him help her into the car. The warmth inside the Lynx RX was suffocating compared to the storm outside. Water dripped from her hair onto the baby's blanket, but Dante's calm presence was a buffer against the chaos. "You don't have to explain right now," he said softly. "You're safe. That's what matters." Selena's lips trembled. He left us in the storm." Dante's hand brushed hers lightly. "You didn't deserve that. No one does. Let's get somewhere warm first, then we figure out the next step." The streets were flooded, reflections of neon signs shimmering across puddles. Selena clutched her baby, rocking slightly to soothe her, while Dante drove with quiet precision. By the time they reached Havenridge Central Hospital, her body trembled from cold and shock, the baby whimpering lightly against her chest. Dante carefully opened the door. "Let me help you." He lifted both mother and child with care, cradling them like fragile glass. Inside, the harsh fluorescent lights were better than the storm outside. Nurses rushed past, but Dante stayed close, grounded, protective. Her slippers, she could have fallen. "We need to keep her and the baby safe," he told a nurse, voice calm but firm. Tears stung Selena's eyes. She had imagined being helpless in the storm countless times, but never with someone offering safety. I don't even know your name," she whispered. "Dante Vale," he replied softly. "Right now, you need to focus on staying dry and safe. Everything else can wait." Doctors carried her and the baby into an examination room. Dante lingered by the door, every movement, every look, tethering her to reality. Minutes stretched like hours. The baby let out a soft cry, and Selena instinctively soothed her. "Shoo! It's okay, baby. It's okay." The doctor finally approached, expression somber but relieved. "The baby is stable. You both need warmth and rest. We'll keep you under observation tonight." Relief washed over Selena, mingled with exhaustion. Dante stayed nearby as nurses wrapped her in dry blankets, handing the baby back gently. "Thank you," she murmured, voice trembling. Dante nodded. "You don't have to thank me yet. Rest. Step by step, we'll figure everything else out." Hours passed. Selena held her baby, rocking slowly, memories of Malik's betrayal gnawing at her. Each flashback sent nausea through her, but Dante's presence anchored her, a steady shield in a chaotic world. Later, Dante returned with essentials, blankets, baby clothes, food. "You need warmth, and this little one needs dry clothes," he said, handing her the items. Selina looked at him, hesitant. Why are you helping me? You barely know me. Dante smiled faintly. Because no one should face storms alone. Not you, not your baby. And I can help. The words struck deep. Selina had been surviving on fear and instinct alone for years. She allowed herself a moment to breathe, to let someone care. The next days blurred with hospital checks, quiet conversations, and feedings. Dante never intruded, only ensured Selina had what she needed. One night, she whispered as she rocked her sleeping baby, I can't believe everything fell apart so fast. One moment I was safe. The next he was gone, and I was alone. Dante's hand found hers. You weren't alone. Not anymore. You have your baby and you have me. You'll find your strength again. Selina let herself sink into that fragile hope. The road ahead was uncertain, but the ember of courage was lit. By the fourth day, she was discharged. Dante insisted on taking them to a safe place before returning to her apartment. A refuge filled with warmth, privacy, and security. You need more than a roof. You need safety, he said. Selina hesitated, instincts screaming no. But her baby's innocent eyes softened her resolve. Okay, let's go. The drive to Dante's estate was quiet, the storm still thrashing outside. Selina held her baby, tense but cautiously hopeful. Dante spoke little, letting silence shield them from the chaos. Arriving at Willow Ridge Manor, Selina's eyes widened. Expansive yet welcoming, the scent of polished wood and fresh flowers greeted them. Mrs. Ade, the housekeeper, sensed the fragility Selina carried. You're safe here, Dante said, handing her dry clothes. We'll care for both of you. Rest now. Tomorrow we start figuring out the next step. Selina sank into a plush couch, her baby resting against her. Dante watched silently. For the first time in days, she felt a small calm seep into her chest. Days at Willow Ridge Manor settled into a fragile rhythm. Sunlight streamed through tall windows, warming the halls and the nursery where Selina's baby slept peacefully. Yet, despite the calm, memories of Malik's betrayal gnawed at her. Every smile she had once shared with him, every promise, now felt like shards of glass embedded in her chest. Dante remained a steady presence, never pressing, simply there. One morning, as he handed her a warm cup of tea, he said quietly, You're carrying too much alone. Let yourself lean on someone else. For your sake, and for your baby's. Selina accepted the cup, fingers trembling. I don't know if I can, she admitted. He took everything, my trust, my sense of safety, my family's future. I don't even know how to begin again. You start small, Dante said gently. A warm meal, a safe night's sleep, smiles for your baby. Everything else comes after. Some nights, Selina would stand by the window, watching rain lash the gardens, the storm echoing memories of the night she'd been abandoned. I survived, she whispered to herself. I have to survive for her. Her baby stirred, and Selina held her close, letting the tiny life she carried ignite determination. She couldn't let fear dictate their lives anymore. A week into her stay, the harsh reality hit. Malik hadn't just abandoned her. He had deliberately sabotaged her family's company, siphoning funds, ruining investments. Her father's life's work teetered on the brink of collapse. Anger surged, coiling in her chest like fire. Dante found her pacing the grand hall, baby swaddled against her chest, eyes burning with sorrow and rage. He did this? Dante asked quietly. Yes, Selina spat. He didn't just break me. He destroyed everything my family built. Dante's hand found hers, squeezing firmly. Then it's time he sees the consequences. Not just for what he did to you, but for what he did to your family. Selina's lips pressed into a thin line. I want him to pay, but not just revenge. I want justice. The next days were consumed by research. Dante helped her comb through financial records, uncovering every fraudulent transaction Malik had made. Every revelation fueled Selina's resolve. Conversations with lawyers began, strategies formed, and a plan for public exposure took shape. Even as she prepared, fear lingered. Malik was cunning, manipulative, dangerous. One evening, Dante found Selena in the nursery, rocking her baby, tears streaking her cheeks. "I'm scared," she admitted. "What if he comes for me?" For her. Dante sat beside her, letting silence hang for a moment. Then he said softly, "Then we'll be ready. You're not alone. He won't find weakness here." That night, Selena's resolve solidified. She would not cower. Every sleepless night, every tear, every moment of fear became fuel for strength. Weeks passed, and Selena began venturing out, cautiously at first. Dante arranged secure visits to meet key and attorneys, ensuring every move was strategic. Each meeting cemented her understanding. She had the power to fight back. Then came the Silver Orchid Gala, Havenridge's most prestigious event, where Malik was expected. Selena prepared meticulously. She would step into the lion's den, facing him not as a victim, but as a woman reclaiming her life. The night arrived, glittering chandeliers illuminating the ballroom. Selena adjusted her gown, her baby safely cared for by Dante's team. Dante's hand brushed hers gently. "This is your moment," he whispered. "Remember, you're not alone." Selena drew a deep breath and walked into the main hall. Every step was deliberate, every movement radiating quiet confidence. Guests whispered, captivated by her presence. Malik's eyes met hers, his smirk faltering. He had underestimated her resolve. She approached the stage, voice steady, carrying the weight of her story. "I was betrayed, abandoned, and left to face a storm alone," she said, scanning the room, finally locking eyes on Malik. "But storms do not last forever. Strength is born from survival, courage from adversity, and hope from resilience." Gasps filled the room. Malik attempted to interject. "You think this proves anything?" he demanded, stepping closer. Selena did not flinch. "This proves the truth. Your lies, manipulation, and cruelty are exposed." Dante stepped forward, a silent guardian behind her. Malik hesitated, recognizing the confrontation was no longer under his control. Security subtly closed in, his confidence crumbling. By the end of the gala, public support for Selena surged. Donations to her foundation poured in, and her story reached countless people who had suffered in silence. She had faced her tormentor and emerged victorious, not just for herself, but for every woman silenced by fear. Back at Willow Ridge Manor, Selena allowed herself a moment to breathe. The weight of recent weeks pressed heavily, but clarity had arrived. Dante sat beside her, letting the quiet stretch between them. "You've done more than survive," deeply. Dante's presence was steady. "Are you ready?" he asked quietly. Selena nodded. "I have to be. Not for me, but for everyone who can't speak up. This is their voice too." At the courthouse, tension hung heavy. Reporters jostled for position. Cameras flashed, whispers of anticipation filling the halls. Malik sat smugly, attempting control, but his eyes betrayed unease. When Selena walked in, head held high, murmurs spread. Her presence alone demanded attention. The proceedings began. Selena's focus was unshakable. Sitting beside Dante, she reviewed notes, recalling every betrayal, every abuse, every attempt at ruin. When she testified, her voice rang clear, unwavering. "My name is Selena Moreno," she began, glancing at Malik. "I was betrayed, abandoned, and left to face fear alone. But I survived. I am here not just for myself, but for everyone manipulated, abused, or silenced by people like Malik Okoye." Murmurs rippled through the courtroom. Malik's attorney attempted interruptions, painting her as vengeful. Selena's gaze never wavered. "I seek justice, not revenge. I am here to protect the vulnerable and ensure cruelty and corruption are exposed." Evidence was presented. Financial records, testimonies, undeniable proof of Malik's crimes. Witness after witness confirmed her claims. The courtroom absorbed each revelation, the weight of his wrongdoing pressing down like a storm. The judge observed carefully. Evidence stacked relentlessly. By the time the verdict came, tension hung thick. Malik Okoye is found guilty on all charges, the judge announced. Gasps filled the room. Malik's face drained of color. Security moved in. He was powerless, exposed. Relief surged through Selena, tempered by the knowledge of the work still ahead. Not just for her, but for every woman she hoped to protect. Back at Willow Ridge Manor, Selena finally allowed herself to exhale. Malik was behind bars, but her journey was far from over. The weight of months of fear, betrayal, and exhaustion pressed against her. Yet the clarity of purpose shone brighter than ever. She held her baby close, feeling warmth and life against her chest, the spark that had kept her moving during the darkest nights. Dante sat beside her, silent and supportive. "You've done more than survive," he said softly. "You've inspired change." Selena smiled faintly. "This is only the beginning," she murmured. "There are still so many voices that need to be heard, so many lives to protect." Over the next few weeks, Selena and Dante worked tirelessly to launch the Haven Light Foundation. The goal was simple but ambitious: provide shelter, support, and resources for women who had been silenced, abused, or abandoned. Every day was filled with calls, meetings, and planning sessions. Each story she heard, each plea for help, strengthened her resolve. She was no longer a victim, she was a leader. One afternoon, Selena was reviewing applications for support when a young woman walked in, eyes wide with fear. Selena instinctively reached out, her voice gentle. "You're safe here. We'll take care of you." The woman broke down in tears, clutching Selena's hand. I didn't think anyone would help me," she whispered. Selena felt a familiar surge of empathy. She had been in that place, helpless, abandoned, desperate. "We will," she said firmly. "You're not alone anymore." Dante watched from the doorway, quietly proud. He had seen Selena transform from a woman broken by betrayal into someone who could lift others from despair. But he also knew the burden she carried. The fear that Malik's influence might reach them, the constant pressure of running a foundation, and the relentless drive for justice. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the horizon, casting the manor in shades of gold and shadow, Selena sat in the nursery, rocking her baby. Dante entered quietly, a tray of tea in hand. "You've done so much today," he said softly, setting the tray beside her. "But you need rest too." Selena sighed, her body tired, her mind racing. "I can't stop thinking about the others," she admitted. "The women still trapped, the children at risk. It's overwhelming." Dante knelt beside her, taking her hand. "You don't have to carry it alone. That's why we built this foundation. Step by step, you can make a difference, but you need to protect yourself too." Selena nodded, letting herself lean on him for a moment. It was a strange feeling, trusting someone completely after so many betrayals, but Dante had earned it. He wasn't there for control or recognition. He was there to support, to protect, to stand as an unwavering presence. Weeks turned into months. The Haven Light Foundation thrived. Women who had been silenced found voices again. Children laughed freely in safe spaces. Volunteers worked tirelessly, inspired by Selena's courage. Each story of resilience, each success, reinforced the purpose behind the foundation. Yet Selena remained vigilant. Malik's appeal loomed, and she knew he would attempt to regain influence. Security measures were strengthened, operations expanded, and awareness campaigns ensured the public remained informed. Every challenge became a lesson in strategy, every obstacle an opportunity to protect others. One day, Dante approached Selena with news. "We've received information that Malik is trying to manipulate associates to interfere with your foundation. We need to act quickly." Selena's eyes narrowed, determination flaring. "Then we shut him out. We protect the women, the children, and everyone who trusts us. We won't let him dictate our lives." That evening, she called a meeting with key staff, outlining new protocols, communication strategies, and security plans. Her voice was firm, authoritative, and calm. "Our mission is bigger than fear. We cannot let the past dictate our future. Every woman, every child we help, counts. And we will not fail them. The team responded with nods, energy renewed. Selena's presence inspired confidence, her story of survival translating into leadership and action. She had become more than a survivor. She had become a symbol of hope. Months later, the foundation hosted its first gala. Selena addressed the crowd, her voice resonant and steady. "We all face storms," she began. "Life will throw challenges in our path. But no matter the darkness, there is always light. There is always hope. And there is always strength within us to rise, to fight, and to rebuild." Applause erupted. Cameras flashed, social media buzzed, and viewers across the city were inspired. Selena's journey from betrayal and fear to leadership and empowerment became a symbol of courage. After the gala, she and Dante stood on the terrace. Rain had softened to a gentle drizzle, the air fresh and clean. "You've changed lives," Dante said quietly. "Not just through action, but through example." Was a battle. But it was worth it. "And there's more ahead," Dante added. "More people to help, more challenges, more storms. But you won't face them alone." Selena reached for his hand, feeling the depth of trust and bond between them. For the first time in years, she felt safe, empowered, and hopeful. The storms had left scars, but they had also forged her into someone capable of inspiring change. Back inside the foundation, life pulsed with energy. Women rebuilt lives, children laughed freely, and volunteers moved with purpose. Every story, every smile, every life touched reaffirmed Selena's mission. She had survived betrayal, heartbreak, and fear, and transformed it into purpose. Her phone buzzed, a message from a woman inspired by Selena's journey. Selena smiled, holding her baby close. She was no longer a victim, no longer silenced. She was a leader, a fighter, a beacon of hope. Her story, once born from pain and betrayal, had evolved into a tale of courage, resilience, and empowerment. Selena had survived the storm, and in doing so, had illuminated a path for countless others. For everyone watching this story, remember, storms will come, life will challenge you, but within you is the strength to rise, the courage to fight, and the power to rebuild. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more tales of courage, survival, and triumph. Share it to spread hope and remind someone today that they, too, can rise above the storm.